Well, between 1997 and 2008, since I've been here, China's really changed tremendously on the business climate. I think first and foremost, in '97, the richest people, for the most part, were still foreigners. And the multinationals like Motorola or Nokia, they were really playing a pivotal role in terms of wealth. But there's been massive wealth creation in the last decade on the Chinese side. So 10 years ago, you only needed about $6 million to make it onto Forbes rich list in China. Last year, you needed just about $100 million. It's a huge difference. Okay, $6 million is an annual bonus for a lot of Wall Street people. $100 million, we're talking about a very different level. So right now, China's economy is not really being led by FDI. It's really being led by mainland Chinese companies, fabulous ones like a Ctrip or a Focus Media, and really incredibly savvy mainland Chinese entrepreneurs that are seeing the economic reforms, taking advantage of it. You look at a company like Ctrip, which I think is one of the best-run companies in China. They basically were looking at an industry, travel, that was completely state-run and incredibly inefficient. If you wanted to buy a plane ticket or you wanted to book a hotel, if you had to go through CITS or any of the big state-run enterprises from a decade ago, it was very inconvenient. Service was terrible. It was not a pleasant experience. So Ctrip came in and said, you know what? Let's simplify things. Let's allow people to buy tickets anywhere in the country by internet or by phone. I mean, that's really, it's nothing groundbreaking. They took an established business model and tweaked it 10%. And the way they've made money is really by executing extremely well on service and delivery. So if I'm going towards to the airport right now, I can call Ctrip and say, you know what, I want to catch a plane from Shanghai Pudong Airport to Guilin in 2 hours. I want you to book a ticket for me. And you know what, I also want you to find a hotel for me. And they'll give you pretty good advice on which hotels are good locations. So the difference between 10 years ago and now is really who's leading the value creation. Who's leading the economic reforms? It's not FDI-led. It's really about Chinese entrepreneurs, Chinese businessmen really seizing the opportunities that are here. It's really very exciting for me. What I like is that there's just so much optimism in the marketplace. 10 years ago, I think a lot of Chinese felt China should be at an international level, that China should be where it was 100 years ago as one of the leaders of the world. And I feel that there was a lot of pessimism and unhappiness that was going on in the general population. Now, it's not that way. Now people are incredibly optimistic. They've had 30 years of unparalleled economic growth. People just think their salaries are going to keep growing. GDP's been going up 10% a year. People are very happy, very positive about where things are going to go in the future. And you have, events like the Olympics where I think for Chinese they're viewing it not so much as a sporting event, but as a way to showcase to the world that China's arrived. China's now a superpower. It's ready and about, if it hasn't already taken its rightful place on the international stage as one of the major players.